On June 30, 2025, Canada made history, sending its first ever LNG shipment to South Korea without using a single US pipeline. That ship, the gas-log Glasgow, left Kitimat, British Columbia, carrying more than gas. It carried a message: Canada is done playing second fiddle. The Pacific location cuts shipping time to Asia in half, 10 days instead of 20, dodging the US and the Panama Canal. The first phase is already pumping out nearly 1 billion cubic feet of gas daily, aiming to double that by August. And here's the real power play: Canadian LNG costs nearly a third of US gas. Cheaper, faster, cleaner. Asia's energy buyers are jumping in: Japan, South Korea, even China, ditching Russian gas and eyeing long-term Canadian deals. For decades, 95% of Canada's gas exports flowed through the US, losing value and facing tariffs. Not anymore. This isn't just an energy story. It's revenge for Trump-era tariffs that hit Canada with up to 25% duties on everything from gas to steel. The $40 billion LNG Canada project, funded by Shell, Petronas, Mitsubishi, and others, is more than a terminal. It's a geopolitical statement. But it's not all smooth sailing. Environmental critics say this could wreck Canada's climate goals. Building in northern BC costs more than the US Gulf Coast, and carbon rules are squeezing profits. Still, with Phase 2 pushing capacity to 28 million tons a year, the payoff could be massive, if Canada moves fast. Kitimat's booming. Thousands of jobs, $5.8 billion in indigenous contracts, and tens of billions expected in tax revenue. Former Bank of England Governor Mark Carney wants Canada to speed up project approvals and capitalize on this global energy shift. Meanwhile, in the US, Trump's tariffs have backfired, costing the economy $8.7 billion annually, wrecking supply chains, and spiking prices. Canada hit back, 25% retaliatory tariffs that hit US food, steel, and industrial goods hard. Trump's national security excuse for taxing Canadian steel and aluminum. No proof, just politics. Once a top supplier of US steel, Canada is now shifting exports east, Europe, Asia, and ASEAN, cutting America out. While Washington clings to the past, Ottawa is going green, investing in clean steel tech like electric arc furnaces and hydrogen. That gives Canada an edge in future-ready steel, and a foothold in high-demand markets like Europe and Japan. And if US tariffs continue, Canada's ready to back giants like Rio Tinto with financial support. Meanwhile, American auto plants are bleeding. Aluminum costs are up. Supply chains are stuck. And production is down. Nissan stopped making 3-car models for Canada. Ford lost millions. Warehouses on the border froze. New car prices shot up $2,000 to $10,000. For many Americans, buying a car just became a luxury. And it's not just cars. US defense contractors are warning of major delays due to steel shortages. As the US stumbles, Canada is stabilizing, quietly pulling over $700 billion in global trade toward its ports, industries, and infrastructure. Seattle's port traffic dropped 40%. Why? Shippers are heading north, where policies are stable, laws make sense, and deals stick. Canada isn't making noise. It's making moves, controlling the choke points of modern trade: minerals, energy, transport, and data. They've locked down EV Minerals. Tesla and Ford. They're now hooked on Canadian supply chains. That edge cost the US an estimated $38 billion in lost battery manufacturing. Not from tech failure, but from supply risk. And the punches keep landing. In March, Ontario slapped a 25% surcharge on electricity exports to the US, targeting 1.5 million American homes. That alone costs New York, Michigan, and Minnesota $400,000 a day. Ouch. But it's not just payback. Canada's striking power deals with Europe and planning a transatlantic power cable. The message: we'll sell to whoever pays top dollar. Canada's surging. Investment jumped 31%, compared to America's measly 6%. TELUS is throwing down $1.7 billion into AI and data centers. Meanwhile, US politics is chasing talent away. Container traffic down 12.7% in the US, up 26% in Canada. Coincidence? Not a chance. Canadian rail giant CPKC launched a Mexico to Halifax route, bypassing Chicago. That single move rerouted $22.5 billion and 27,000 American jobs. It's all connected. Cheap power fuels refineries, minerals feed AI, AI streamlines logistics, a self-reinforcing Canadian advantage. Trump makes headlines, Canada makes history. Trump forced a delay in Canada's digital services tax, but on that same day, Canada launched its LNG shipment to Asia. That's not defeat. That's strategy. Step back. Move forward. Canada's planning 7 LNG projects, aiming to export over 50 million tons annually. The $20 billion Sulusim project from the Niska Nation is targeting both Asia and Europe. Canada isn't just exporting gas. It's exporting independence. And Canadians are done being talked down to. After Trump joked about making Canada the 51st state, polls show 77% of Canadians now view the US negatively. US car sales in Canada have dropped 30%. Canadian exports to the US are down 23%. American households are paying $1,300 more a year. And the next punch is coming. If no deal is reached by July 21st, Canada's slapping more tariffs, and possibly welcoming Chinese EVs with open arms. This isn't a trade war anymore. It's a full-scale realignment. So, what do you think? Is Canada playing chess while America plays checkers? Drop a comment below, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the Untold Compass, because the mainstream won't tell you this story.